as someone who has just hit Celestial and someone who has recently made a Smurf account.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I think I can assist you in your journey to climbing the ranks in Marvel Rivals. Before I give you one tip on how to get out of every rank, any tip I will be giving you in any rank that's above what you're currently in will help you for your current rank. But sometimes your other teammates might not know this, so it might not be as helpful. But with that, we can start with the worst rank, which is bronze. In order to get out of bronze, the biggest thing you're going to need to know is actually how to play your character. Like for example, Loki. I played in bronze where he didn't use a single clone, and on my Smurf account I have to tell him to use another clone to help him heal us more. And once he did that, we easily won the game, mainly because I am smurfing. But regardless, we probably would have lost that game if he kept healing with one clone. But with that, you should easily get out of bronze because a lot of players are pretty bad in bronze. As long as you have decent mechanical skills, you should be out of bronze. But next on the list will be silver. One tip to get out of silver is target priority. If you have a chance to attack a healer, you should be taking that opportunity, because even if a team is down one healer, there's a good chance they lose that fight. You need two healers to keep your team up, especially in lower ranks where DPS might not know where to find health back. But yeah, so if you get any chance to take out a healer or even a solo tank, those should be the two people you target the most in your game. Now for gold. This should be the most common rank in the game. I don't know what the percentage is nowadays, but usually in most games this is the most common rank for everyone. Let's say you have the mechanical skills. Let's say you believe you don't deserve this rank. Problem with believing you don't deserve this rank is that a lot of other people don't believe they deserve that rank. So one tip I will give you to get out of gold is losing your ego. You're just gold. You're in gold, the most common rank possible. Please just lose your ego. Try to stick to the 2-2-2 comp. If you need an extra support, you might have to go support. And then majority of the time, since you are in gold, majority of the time that is the rank you deserve at that point in time. Now you can easily get better and actually not deserve to be there, but most of the time you're not going to be the best player in your lobby. So with that, just lose your ego. Try to keep a 2-2-2 comp if possible. Now we are in plat. In my journey through plat, if I'm being honest, plat is worse than diamond to climb out of, because plat players, they have a worse ego than gold players. But I already gave that tip to gold players because they have a mean ego as well. But for plats, just please stop staggering. If you die first in the fight and your team is slowly dying after you, just wait to regroup. There's not a lot of characters in this game that can go in a fight by themselves and survive long enough for their team to come there and support them in the fight. Majority of the time you need to be regrouped, unless you're going to touch point, which you should only do if you know your team's going to strange portal, or you know your team is actually in range to support you before you die. Now we're getting to diamond, where I'm assuming that you have a good grasp of this game, and from here on out the egos only get worse. But one tip to get out of diamond, just know everyone's cooldowns, whether it's the enemy's team or your team, and whether the cooldowns are abilities or ults. You should know whether Venom has already used his symbiotic resilience, and you should know he should be able to die if he doesn't have that. You should also know if Loki has already used his lamps recently, and know that he should be someone you should be targeted. And let's say you're DPS, you should know if the enemy team has their support ults or if they use their support ults. That should be the #1 thing you're tracking when you're playing these games. Yeah, whether it's Loki lamps, whether it's Loki has his ult, whether it's Magneto having no bubble, you should be keeping track, I say more specifically, of the enemy team's cooldown, so you know when to capitalize most in fight. Now we get to Grandmaster, which some of you might be thinking, you're only Celeste, you barely even hit it. How can you tell me what I need to get out of Grandmaster? Well, I've been in Grandmaster, and then I fell out of Grandmaster, and then I came back in it for the second time, and then I pretty much breezed through it with a 3 stack, getting MVP almost every game. And really, one advice I'd have to give in Grandmaster, you're literally, I think even with the inflated ranks, you're still like top 5% in the game, top 5, top 3% in the game. Unless you're a one trick, you are one of the best players in this game. And that is really what my tip is. Stop being a one trick. If you truly deserve Grandmaster, you should know how to play more than one character. You should not load up every game trying to play Rocket Raccoon. You should not load up every game trying to play Spider-Man. You should not load up every game trying to play the same character in every game. Some of your team comps just can't fit it. Sometimes you're going to get countered, or sometimes you might need to counter the other team. Let's say you're playing against Dive and you don't know Luna Snow, then your team is pretty much cooked. If no one on your team knows Luna Snow, then Namor gets no help. It doesn't take a lot of skill to play Namor, so I'm not even gonna say if you don't know Namor, you're cooked. If no one knows Luna Snow on your team and Luna Snow is open, you should be capitalizing that. But if no one on your team knows that, then if their dive is good, your team is cooked. Also, back to the Rocket point, bro. Rocket should only be played with a Bucky or a Punisher. Now, I believe Rocket's a good character. I don't believe he's that bad, but people make him way worse than he seems because they only play Rocket for no reason at all, especially when they provide no damage at all when they end the game with 137 damage. It's so hard to win games like that unless you have a Bucky who can make up for your lack of damage. Literally, just knowing more than one character would take you so far in this game, because Sometimes you can't play tank every game. Sometimes you can't play DPS every game. Sometimes you're going to have to be a person who switches to support or whatever, or switches to a counter that could easily take down other teams. Let's say if they have flyers, you could easily go Punisher and punish those flyers, or Hela even. And if the other team refuses to swap, you will easily win the game just by countering them, which a lot of Grandmasters will refuse to swap. Now we get to Celestial, where you're probably thinking, well, he definitely can't tell me about Celestial. He hasn't even got out of Celestial himself, which is correct, I guess. Right, I've only played like 8 matches in Celestial. I low-key been scared to play even more because just the randoms, because you can never trust randoms in this game. But if I had to give one tip, just based on my knowledge, I played, like I said, I played 8 matches. I won 6 of them. Most of these games that I've won, I've been on my main role. Anytime I've flexed or like tried to play a different role, we've lost. Now I wouldn't say it's because of me flexing, but like I don't know, but if I'm playing my main role, it just seems like we win every game. So if I had to give one tip, it's just try to play your main role as much as possible. Do not make your team force you to play healer. Like, don't be the last person to pick your role. That's what I'm saying. Like, you might think, oh yeah, they can play whatever they want, I'll flex because I'd rather me play healer than someone who doesn't play healer, right? Unless you're actually pretty good with healer, I'd say, like, unless you have 2 roles that you're neck and neck in, I suggest just playing your better role, because you will provide more to the team knowing that you're playing on your best role, and that should be giving y'all the best chance of winning. So yeah, pretty much to summarize that up, my one tip is just flex as least as possible. Play your main role. And now, I guess it would be unfair not to give a tip for Eternity in One Above All. Now, I haven't got this rank, but I do watch a lot of streamers, and I can say the games they usually lose is just bad team comps. Most of the people in that rank, they usually are around your skill level at the very least. So in order to win games, you just gotta have a good comp, bro. You shouldn't be running Jeff as a second support. You shouldn't be running Groot into a Wolverine, especially without a Magneto to bubble you in case he grabs you. You shouldn't be running a heavy dive into Namor with the Luna team up. You probably shouldn't even be running one dive, honestly. The only time dive really excels is when there is another person diving with you. So honestly, you probably shouldn't even be running one dive. Then you also probably shouldn't be running a Loki into a Bucky or a Moon Knight. There's a lot of stuff you just shouldn't be running. There's a lot of comps that are easily avoidable. You also shouldn't just be running straight melee characters. Like, you shouldn't have a team of Venom, the Thing, Magic, and Iron Fist. Like, you have no range. You have nothing you can do at range. They can literally just play a flyer and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, there's just some comps that don't work. You need a well-balanced comp. Majority of the time, if you just have a well-balanced comp, you will probably be winning these games. Like I said, I don't have any user game time on Eternity, but based on what I've seen, usually if you just have a good comp, the games will at least be close. But yeah, that is one tip to climb out of every rank in Marvel Rivals. Let me know if any of these tips actually help you. Let me know any tips you actually have down below in the comments that can help somebody that's been in a rank you've been in before. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, that's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching. Also, one last thing though, please nerf Bucky.